Do you ever get discouraged when you're trying to study because you can't read the notes you have taken or you feel like an important detail has been left out? Does it cause you to stop studying and sometimes even fail the test that you were studying for? My name is Casey Offen, and I'm here to give you 3 ways of studying and to demonstrate on how to take better notes in school. Today I'll be demonstrating on ways to help with taking better notes in school because of reasons such as struggling to take notes, barely getting by with the techniques you know now, and new ways of taking notes. Taking notes in school is very crucial to one's learning and studying, therefore can be improved by learning new ways or better ways of studying. To begin with, how many of you have ever had to take notes in school? I know I have. Every day I go to anatomy class, I take notes. And in college, it's really important that you take notes and know how to take good notes in order for you to do good and succeed and get good grades. Now, how many of you struggle at times to take notes for reasons such as your teacher's talking too fast, you can't read the teacher's handwriting or your own handwriting, or you don't really know how to take good notes? I know I can be one of those at times. When your teacher talks too fast, it can be frustrating and hard for you to write or type down what you are listening to and to take good notes at the same time, whereas you could be missing out on important details that you need to know because of not being able to successfully do both at the same time. Another issue I have come across is not being able to read the teacher's handwriting. When you can't read the teacher's handwriting, this can be confusing and frustrating for you because it puts you in a bad position and you hate to ask them, especially in a college lecture, because that means they're going to have to stop and answer your question, and that takes up time because if you're in a college class, not all of the classes are very long, so therefore you're learning a lot of material in a short amount of time. Secondly, it might not always be a good thing to keep the techniques that you are using now because only of what you are writing or typing that you think is important, whereas you could be missing out on important details that you think is vital when really it's not necessary. Leaving out important details could cause you to miss that question on the test or even fail that test that you're trying to study for. Not knowing what to write or type down is also something you may find yourself struggling with. You may have a lot of information to copy down, but not know how to write it down in order to study successfully. However, there is help for those of you who need new ways of taking notes. Additionally, I'll be showing you 3 ways of taking notes that I hope you will try, and hopefully all of them, but if not, at least one of them, will work for you. The first one I have to show you today is called the Cornell Note System. And the Cornell note-taking system, I got this offline from How to Study in College by Walter Palk. And as you can see, it says your cue column is over here, your note-taking column is over here, and at the bottom is your summary. The Cornell Notes, what you can do, you can take a regular piece of notebook paper, or you can take a piece of computer paper, get it prepared before class, of course, write your name at the top, and you can put Cornell Notes in case someone in class asks you what kind of study technique that you're using. And you can separate this, and at the bottom you can draw your summary box, and you can divide your paper. This can be your notes, and you can write your word or definition. And what I have done is this. Just taken a regular piece of paper, I wrote my name on it, I wrote what kind of notes I'm using, the Cornell Notes. You can write your word or definition over here, and then your notes it's probably better to write your word over here and then the definition of the word or whatever is crucial for you to learn. And then, to help you study, what you can do is take your piece of paper, fold it in half, and on the column that says word or definition, if you have a word such as, in my anatomy class, we need to know what a tuberosity is. So, here we have the word tuberosity, and on the other side, you should write what the definition is, which a tuberosity is a large rounded projection, and it may be roughened. So, as you can see, my definition of a tuberosity is a large rounded projection that may be roughened. And this is a wonderful way to help you study because you won't be able to let yourself cheat. Well, you shouldn't anyway. And then at the bottom, once you have filled up your page, and of course I just wrote large enough for you to see it, at the bottom is your summary box. And your summary box can help you for whenever you finish writing your words and definitions down. You can put the summary of the definitions or of the class or of the lecture that day in class. Cornell Notes is a very good way to study, and I definitely recommend it, especially for classes that can be more time consuming than others to study for. Another way of taking better notes in school is a voice recorder. Now, if you're still in high school or middle school, your teacher might not let you use a voice recorder. But I know in a lot of college classes, especially if they're longer classes like anatomy, or classes that are more time consuming, or that are short, that is a short amount of time that you have to learn a lot of material, the teacher doesn't mind if you bring in a voice recorder. And I have my voice recorder that I use for my anatomy class. Mine is an Olympus. It comes from Staples, and you can turn it on right here on the side. It has a slot for an additional memory card. It is, I think it's 800 hours. It holds 2 AAA batteries, and I haven't had to replace the battery yet. And as you can see, I've been studying and listening to my lecture, and I think I have, it says up here, 24. And my anatomy class is 3 hours long. But this one also has a little stand that you can see it on the table, so when you're recording, it's sitting upright so it can better hear the voices. This voice recorder, I really recommend it because what I like to do is, after class and after he has finished lecturing, all you have to do is press stop right here, take it home, listen to it again, and if you've been listening in class, once you hear the lecture on here, you'll hear more details that he give you that you weren't able to get in class, because it's hard to listen and write down everything at the same time. So a voice recorder is very good, and so if you're in college and you need a new way to study, some of them can get pricey, but I really recommend a voice recorder. And the last way that I'm going to tell you to take notes, and some of you probably have already tried this, is note cards. And these are different colors, but you can get them in white or different colors. What you do is kind of like a little piece of paper. And on one side, it's blank. Well, on this one, I wrote something for anatomy. And I also folded it to conserve. So you could write your word on one side, preferably this side, so you won't get confused. And then on the other side, it looks like a little piece of notebook paper. And you can write the definition of the word or whatever your teacher said that you need to know about that word or whichever you're studying for. and note cards really works for me. Sometimes they might be time consuming, but hey, if it works, then that's what you need to do. In conclusion, there is hope on taking better notes in school and finding which way works best for you. I have demonstrated and given you 3 ways of taking notes, and I hope you'll try all of them, if not one of them, and I hope at least one of them works for you, because they work for me. If you struggle with taking notes and know you need help, but are afraid to ask, don't be, because there's help. Try using these techniques to help you out in better ways so studying can flow easier for you. You only get one chance to succeed, so why not help yourself and do the best that you can?